Next panel discussion will take the theme forward of revenue management, optimizing revenue through application of advanced analytics. For this, I would invite our esteemed panelists, Kranti Khobragade, Deputy Director, Income Tax, Intelligence and Criminal Investigation, Government of India. A round of applause for Madam.
Coming to Ms. Khobragade, she's from income tax, again a sector with voluminous data. So question to her, her opening remarks I guess should be on how do you make sense of all that data and how do you extract some actionable intelligence out of it, considering that you deal with time-sensitive issues, you know, things which have to be addressed in a certain frame of time if it has to be done. So how do you do that?
Respected ma'am, respected dignitaries on the dais and my dear friends, a very good evening to all of you. I am Kranti Khobragade. I am IRS officer of 2011 batch and presently posted as DDIT in criminal investigation, INCI in Pune. So ma'am, as you said, a lot of data where I'm presently posted in INCI, Intelligence and Criminal Investigation, is where we collect all this data, ma'am. Before speaking about how this is done, I would just like to share with you certain figures. This is the revenue that is collected in the last year, which income tax has collected 14 lakh crore of income tax in the financial year ending 2022, which is the highest till date. Certain other figures which I would like to share is in this present quarter, which is ending this 30th June, here also we have seen an increase in collection of income tax of near about 45% as a net tax collection and 30% in advance tax collection. We have also, in the previous financial year, registered increase in the number of income tax returns that were filed. So we have 7.14 crore people filing income tax returns as against 6.9 crore, which was the previous year. And the refund issued during the last financial year is 1.86 lakh crore, which is against, again, a highest amount. The share of income tax which is received is 70% in corporates and 30% from individuals. So corporates obviously make a larger share of the income tax collected. And the people, total people in the country having PAN is 44 crore only, which is a major hurdle for collecting information in income tax. All said and done, the increase in the revenue, ma'am, the tax collection, income tax being the largest tax collector in the country, these reforms which have been made in the department's functioning, as well as the economy that is seeing a growth, is the reason for increase in this tax growth. And income tax department as such has undergone a lot of changes in the previous 3-4 years specifically. We have implemented the faceless scheme in 2020. So all the assessment that is being carried out is all faceless. Not only assessment, but appeals is also faceless, penalties, settlement commission is also faceless, advance ruling is also faceless. So that's a major change that is there in the department with the motive of ensuring and increasing the voluntary compliance from the taxpayers. So with this motive, income tax department is changing the work of being a deterrent, or I would say as enforcement agency. It is, but we are focusing more on being a service-oriented organization, so that more voluntary compliance takes place and a lot of people pay tax on their own. So we in INCI, where I'm posted right now, is where we collect the information from all the agencies. So these are banks, these are the local sub-registrars, these are companies who are issuing shares or issuing debentures. These are the people who are covered in audit, who are getting cash payments. So a lot of information is collected. As an example, I would like to share that suppose all of us use credit cards here. So as per the income tax provisions, if a person is making tax payments of 10 lakh or more in a financial year, then the credit card company, more specifically the banks, have to provide us the information to the income tax. That is an obligation of them as per the rules to give this information to us. Similarly, if there are tax transactions happening, so if you're making a payment of about rupees 2 lakhs in cash payments, and then that has to be reported. All this information is collected through what we call as the statement of financial transactions, SFTs, which is for the Indian data, and we have SRAs, which is for the foreign data, which comes through this. So a lot of data is there. And ma'am, income tax department over the years has this motive of increasing the use of technology and reducing the use of manual work or the dependence on the officers, being the reasons being the vast data as well as the huge number of business transactions, the financial transactions which takes place on a daily basis. So there are billions of transactions which humanly are impossible to look into and verify, and that is why income tax has moved to use of AI and ML specifically to capture all this data. Various risk management strategies have been developed by the department to identify the data which is actually important and which would result in increasing the tax collection. As opposed to if an information is found low risk, the department might consider it not giving a output as required. So these cases have been left out. All information cannot be processed by the department, so a risk management strategy has been developed, and the department has developed the project Insight, and this is the platform where all the information related to every transaction, be it salary, business income, be it any kind of TDS, all kind of transactions we are trying to get on one portal, and through Insight now all the proceedings of the departments are going on. So these are e-proceedings specifically, and all the notices are issued through this Insight system, all the proceedings that take place here, the orders are passed here, and all the information is processed on the basis. There is random allocation, which is also another important factor, that there is earlier income tax was jurisdiction based, now it is a random jurisdiction. So the system has all the system is the one who is classifying the information and sending it to the assessment or the other jurisdictional units in the field. And if you see, because of the use of AI and the use of ML, the information is sorted out in a way that maximum tax is can be collected, and there is minimum, I would say, difficulties which the taxpayers should face, because if small turnover assessees are being covered in the assessment procedure or the litigation procedure, then it causes them to not complying with the provisions and facing difficulties as in getting into the legal litigations, and then overall not increasing the tax revenue. So a focused analysis of the data, so that a focused approach is taken when you are specifically assessing the income and collecting all the information, and then on that basis department has done really well in the last 2-3 years as well. As I said, 14 lakh crore, which is the highest amount, has been collected by the income tax department, and we hope that because of the use of AI and ML specifically, now new schemes are also being implemented, as e-verification is also coming in the income tax department, where before assessment itself verification would be done. So on that basis, it is expected that the taxpayers would comply more and voluntarily pay the tax, so that the penal provisions and the prosecution provisions and the litigation is reduced, and the overall convenience of the taxpayers is taken into account, which is the major motive and of the income tax department right now. Thank you, ma'am.